What's good everyone, it's Hutch here. Not gonna delay this any longer. I've had this gun gold for a little while, just haven't got around to making the video. Of course it is the C58 and it's a bit of a weird one to get gold. It didn't shoot exactly how I thought it would at the start, and that kind of threw me off with how I was planning to level it up. But we'll run through the class setup really quick, then we'll get onto game modes, and then of course we'll just run through the camo challenges and I'll highlight any issues I had, any difficulties you might want to keep an eye out for, and all of that kind of stuff as usual. So class setup, you can run it with the iron sights. The iron sight's perfectly fine. I put the axial arms or the vision tech 2 times on, purely for long shots, for kills behind cover, and for any of those kind of distance based camo categories. That's the only reason I run it. You could run it, you know, with a micro flex LED, any sight you want, it really doesn't matter, and that's personal preference entirely. When I first unlocked it, I did run the muzzle brake just because it has a fair bit of recoil. You could run solely recoil based attachments if you wanted to level this up only in core. I'd recommend it. But the mixture we're doing, I preferred a little bit of speed in there. So we do run the ultralight for the majority of it. You could run a laser if you wanted to. I personally didn't see any need to. Now I was running the infiltrator grip for the longest time. And then I switched to the bruiser grip, and then finally the speed grip. All about speed. It does have a fair bit of recoil. I personally think it's fairly controllable if you bear that in mind. Like, you can't just go in holding down the trigger and expecting it to hit every shot. I'd much rather the speed trade off against the recoil. You do have to put a mag on. It's like 25 bullets or something like that. It's pretty painful if you don't use an extra mag. It doesn't matter which one you use. You could use 60-round drum if you wanted. It's going to slow you down. You could use a fast mag. It'll slow you down. The 35-round drum worked pretty well in 95% of situations for me, so I don't really see any need to kind of switch that up. And then, as always, I am rocking the drop shot wrap until I unlock any of these, purely so I can drop shot. That's literally the only reason. It's how I get a couple of challenges done, primarily in Nuketown. So let's jump into the game modes real quick. Obviously I did this over a couple of updates. So anything like Collateral 24/7, Hijack 24/7, Nuketown 24/7 is going to be fantastic for it. Core or hardcore, I actually played a fair bit of Collateral Strike core with it, and it was a ton of fun. Probably not the most efficient way to level up a gun, but it was doable and it was, you know, entertaining to do so. Other than that, of course, you're going to want to come over to hardcore. Now you can rock in the 12v12 mosh pit. Fantastic for long shots, fantastic for kills behind cover, fantastic for just something a bit more fast paced than maybe Nuketown or Hijacked, Collateral Strike. 12v12 mosh pit's a great place to go if you are getting a bit bored and feeling like Nuketown's a little bit stale, but Nuketown will be kind of your bread and butter as always. And now onto the challenges themselves. Of course you have 300 eliminations with the C58 in multiplayer. I say this every time, if you need help doing this one, I probably can't help you, you just gotta kill people. And then it's headshots. This came fairly naturally with the gun, and the past couple of guns have had quite a forgiving recoil pattern in that they kick up, so you're more likely to hit a headshot. I didn't have that many issues with it. I kind of completed it as I completed everything else. It was just a case of the usual, if someone's AFK, take the time to shoot them in the head. If someone isn't paying attention, take the time to shoot them in the head. You know, if you are struggling, you need to make sure you are kind of one-track mind focused on pulling your crosshairs up as you're firing. It's all those things. I didn't have too many issues with it, unlike, you know, a few of the other guns I've covered. So that shouldn't be too much of a problem for you guys. And then we do have 5 kills without dying. Again, not too much of a problem. I did this in a mixture of all the modes I played. Nuketown hardcore, 12v12 hardcore were the easiest to do it on. I think I got it a couple of times within Collateral Strike, but that is a far more aggressive, fast-paced map. Especially with a gun like this, it's a bit more unforgiving if you miss your shots. It can be a little bit trickier, but if you are struggling, you know, you are just going to want to sit back if you've picked up 2 or 3 kills and just wait, play your life until you do get those 2 kills, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want. Of course, if you went on a 10 kill streak, it would stack up, but you know, let's just focus on a 1 tick towards the 20 at a time. And then it's long shots. For this, 12v12 was fantastic. Just, there's no other way about that. 12v12 is a great map to do it. So many people are going for long shots, so there's always that long range kind of engagement going on. You're never going to really struggle to find people that want to engage at that longer distance. It's where the axial arms comes in fantastically for this. I'd highly recommend that. Or the Vision Tech 2x, whatever you are more comfortable with. And that is just a case of posting up and picking people off. You can get this done in 2 or 3 games if you get some really good lobbies where there's a lot of people going for long shots on the enemy team. It really wasn't that much of an issue. Otherwise you can just kind of play normal matches, not really think about it, and you probably will pick them up without noticing. But if you are kind of focusing in on this category, definitely 12v12 hardcore. And then we have 75 detected kills. For this, all the usual applies. Any map you want, Nuketown's the easiest. And make sure you got a UAV, make sure you got a harp, make sure you got stuns, flashes, field mics. And the best thing you can do for your field mic is either put it in a room that is concealed from enemy explosives if you can't get out your own spawn, or if you can get through to the enemy house, you're going to want to put it just in front of their house and kind of tucked away in a corner so you can get them as they're running out of spawn, and every kill there is a detected kill. As far as UAVs and harps and stuff, the moment you get that kill streak, you're just going to want to run at the enemy. It doesn't matter how many times you die. You just really want to make sure you're going hell for leather, trying to kill as many people as possible, and that shouldn't take you too long. It is one of the more tedious ones. It's just one of those things you've kind of got to plod along with. And then we have kill 50 enemies taking cover from you. By far, I've finally found a strategy that works consistently, and by far, Nuketown is the way to go. Sit in any of the top 2 windows and just aim down sights at the other window, because anyone coming around that corner, unless they're jumping, unless they're mantling, will be a behind cover kill. It's the easiest way to do it, it's the fastest way to do it. Obviously you can see over into little bits of other parts of the map from those windows, and they'll also count as behind cover kills for the most part. It's a bit tedious. I feel like a bit of a hypocrite because you're essentially camping, but it is the quickest way to do it. It's boring, but it speeds up the process. You can get it done in maybe 4 or 5 games with a couple of good lobbies in there. So it's definitely the quickest way to do it if you are struggling with that one. And then we have kill 2 or more enemies rapidly 25 times. This is fairly easy. You can go into any game mode that is confined or fast paced or aggressive. So Collateral Strike works decently for this because it is a fairly aggressive map. Otherwise 12v12 is fantastic, Hijacked is fantastic, any map at all, as long as you can get aggressive, get in the enemy's face and kill 2 of them at a time. It really is as simple as that. These kills are the sort of things that will come without you noticing. They'll be like, you know, that panic kill where you clutch up and kill the last guy at the last second. It's super easy. I wouldn't stress over it too much. You've just got to be aggressive, you've got to be in people's faces. Spawn traps are going to be your best friend in this situation, so do bear that one in mind. And that is the last camo challenge for the C58. It's a pretty fun gun to use. It takes a bit of getting used to in core, that's for sure. Obviously in Warzone it's a different beast entirely, we know that. But as always, let me know your thoughts about this gun in the comments down below. I've seen a lot of love and a lot of hate for it, so I'm interested to see what you guys think. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe if you want to find your way back. Hope you all have a good day. I'll see you next time. Bye.